So let's talk about the Orlando shooting. I want to do it. If y'all don't know, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, there was a horrible shooting in Orlando. 49 people were killed, plus the gunman, which made it 50. Let's go over the facts. This man was a U.S.-born citizen with an Afghani father who was pro-Taliban. During the shooting, he called the police, pledging his allegiance to ISIS. Other than that, there's no evidence of him going to Syria or training with Syria or being in contact with ISIS. He didn't buy the gun illegally. He bought it legally, and he passed every background check possible, despite being investigated by the FBI once or twice, I believe. But they could never prove anything on this guy. So why did he do it? Wasn't for ISIS, in my opinion. This man was himself gay, but he had conflicting mental issues because his father, who was pro-Taliban, said gay people were bad and evil, so he had that brainwash. Plus, his ex-lover came on CNN, and he described to CNN that, yeah, when we were together, he was talking bad about his ex-lover, the one before him, who was Puerto Rican, and that ex-lover said he was HIV positive, but when the gunman tested himself, he came back negative. But even still, he still thought he was HIV positive. He had a lot of anger toward Puerto Rican gay people and gay people in general. Plus, he had the views of his father, so he felt bad about being gay. And his ex-wife said, yeah, he was very mentally abusive and physically abusive. He even went to that gay bar multiple times, and he was kicked out a few times. I just thought I should share those facts with you, and apparently the news has moved on like they always do after every shooting. My comments on the Congress's attempt to pass a bill on it, which would one of the motions was to if you're on the no-fly list, you can't buy a gun. Even the ACLU was against it, apparently. I forgot for what reason, though, but y'all can look it up. I think my solution to this is not banning the guns, and I understand where that comes from. It's, you can make the case that it does and doesn't. That's not my point. I think we should start teaching start fighting against ignorance. And ignorance, I mean like homophobia, specifically in this case. I believe the solution to prevent more of these shootings is to teach open-mindedness and show that, hey, you can't think this way of thinking is incorrect, and you can't just go treat people differently. Do I think banning guns would work in this case? I don't think it would, because one, you have to talk about production of the gun. Are you going to ban production of the gun and selling of the gun not from the individual citizens only, but from factory to citizen, or factory to nation, or factory to the state government or federal government? Let's talk about that. But from what I could read of the bill, it didn't talk about that at all. Again, the ACLU was against it. And even me personally, I'm against the terrorist watch list, not because I love terrorists, I don't, but the fact that the executive branch of the government just points at you, says you're a terrorist, and puts you on that list without no means of getting off or anything. If they are going to have a terrorist watch list, they should say, hey, we've been following you. We're going to trial you for a month. We're going to take this to court, see if we can indict you, and build a defense. But even with that, I'm shaky. Again, I don't want to spend billions of dollars on focusing on a symptom of guns or anything. I want to focus on a solution that can affect millions of people's lives and be more efficient. So that's why I think education is key. We should start teaching ethics in schools, and self-defense. Even with banning guns, like, so the guns are out there right now. You're gonna have a buyback program, and you can make it X amount of years to bring it back and pay you above market price. Good luck. Or you people turn in those guns? No. So you can make it a crime just having something that you have no intended to use harm for. You know, that just goes against the no victim, no crime, in my view. Again, it's an inefficient law, but that's my views. Again, this guy wasn't an ISIS fighter. He wasn't, he hated gay people because his father was very anti-gay. He had a bad gay experience with an ex-lover, and he didn't buy the gun illegally. He actually passed all the background checks, and he had multiple security licenses. Do you think him being on the terrorist watch list would prevent him from buying a gun? I don't think so, but, you know, because, you know, you just go buy a gun online. So, those are my views. I think one of the other laws was having universal background checks on website checks. Well, that's all good and dandy, you know. I'm all for universal background checks, and I've bought plenty of guns to have, and I've gone through background checks. So I don't know what these people are talking about. Are they talking about gun show sales? Yeah, I'm all for background checks at gun shows too, but again, I've bought guns at gun checks, and I've gone through the process. Are they talking about stopping individuals from private to private citizen sales? Well, what are you going to do, have a camera on every person? And in some states that is illegal. I believe in California it was illegal. And that crazy couple who shot up all those people bought guns from a private person to person sale. Again, that state was illegal to do. So I don't think the solution is looking at the gun side or looking at bombing ISIS or declaring war on ISIS, which makes no more sense because you're going to probably kill more civilians than ISIS fighters. Again, I think the solution should be taught ethics in school, and that's my view. Again, you gotta start young with these kids. You start teaching them proper ethics. That hey, you can't hate people because they're different than you. Again, that's my view. People say, "Oh, you're brainwashing kids." Well, if you consider brainwashing kids by means of teaching them moral ethics and how to think for themselves, then I'm brainwashing people. But, and I think we should also teach self-defense K through 12 as well as ethics K through 12, or K through college, and for both. So, those are my views. I hope y'all enjoy this video, and y'all have a great day.